Hello, my name is Daniel Yuck. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate you, your time, and your support. In today's video, I want to dive into an in-depth review, and I want to take a close-up look with you at my new tattooing workbook called the Facial Feature Guide Volume 1, a guide to practice faces. I will leave my Amazon affiliate links for you and other affiliate links for you in the description below so you can check out the gear featured in this video on your end. Should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment down below. Rest assured, I'm going to do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I will be bringing more reviews like this and more tattooing workbooks for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, let's get right on into this review. Right here in front of me, I have a new tattooing workbook that I created. This one is called the Facial Feature Guide Volume 1, a guide to practice faces. This tattooing workbook is specifically designed to help us get better acquainted with facial features such as eyes, eyeballs, eyebrows. We can even do glasses. We have facial mustache textures, noses, hair, and more. All of that can be practiced within the Facial Feature Guide. And again, this is going to be Volume 1. Let me show you the Facial Feature Guide Full 360. This is the cover right here. You can see it is a gloss finish, gloss shiny finish. The Facial Feature Guide Volume 1. And one thing that I love about this workbook is that you can see it is a very thick workbook here. It has loads of different exercises that we're going to go ahead and practice. By the end of this workbook, we will have more skills when it comes to applying faces than we did before. And this is the back right here. So this is the back of the book, and this is the front of the book, and this is the side right here, and this is a profile of all of the pages right here. All of the designs within the Facial Feature Guide and all of my other tattooing workbooks come with a sort of faint look to them, so therefore we could apply the ink as we see fit. Now let me go ahead and show you some designs and explain a little bit more on that. So here is a random design from within the Facial Feature Guide, and you can see that there are some extras here, some accessories that we're going to have to practice. Here they have what looks to be some sort of earrings, some background, and then we have different shades as well. You can see there's different tints of shading here mapped out, and we could choose to go ahead and add a soft shading there to kind of get better with shading placements as well along the way. We're going to be doing some nose work, some lips, some ears, and some eyes, and some slight hair textures. What's cool about the Facial Feature Guide is that on each and every page, you're going to see that it gives you a tip or a trick to help you throughout the process here. Here is another example. This one has a bunch of butterflies. We're going to be practicing some lips. And if you look real carefully, it does have different shading placements that are going to help us place our shading down. You can see that there is another little like mouth right here as well that should be shaded in very, very lightly. This is kind of like an abstract piece of work right here. I love that design right here. And a lot of them are like that. You can see here we're going to be practicing a lot of hair textures, some eyes, nose, and lips. Here are different shading placements. So you can see this area right here is lighter. This is a lighter shade, and then this is a darker shade, and this is the darkest. You can kind of see where the darkest shades go. So we do have shading maps as well as tips and tricks on each page, as well as full pages that we can practice. You can see on the back of the pages, there's no exercises there. So what we could do is get a couple of blank pages, put them right here, and begin practicing on this design to prevent any damage coming onto this page. There are going to be loads of various designs. So we have females right here. There is going to be males at the end as well. Let me kind of just skim through it so you can kind of get an idea as to what we can expect. You're going to notice shading placements on the designs. You're going to notice a little tips and trick bubbles. And you're going to notice just a lot of different challenges and obstacles that we're going to be faced with to complete these designs right here. All of them are very, very faint. I think on here on the camera as well, they look a little bit darker than they actually are. They are a little bit more fainter. So when we apply our pigment, whether it's red, green, purple, yellow, black, is going to show up over this. That's the reason why these designs are faint right here. And you can see the bubbles there for each and every design. There's a bird on that one. Here's some top accessories for the hair. Here we have like facial skin textures that we could practice along with shading maps there for shading placements. And each and every design offers something unique to learn from. Eyeballs as well. Eyeballs are a big thing. As you can see, we can practice these eyes right here, and we're only going to be working on depositing the design as we see fit. This is going to translate nicely over to when we start applying faces on with needle and ink, so to speak. So that's some more designs right there. There's just loads of designs in here that we're going to be able to utilize to help better our skill sets here. I'm just kind of skimming through it just to give you an idea as to what you can expect. You can see some more tips and tricks right there. We got shading placements, textures, a whole bunch of fun stuff going on in here. All different types too. Here's another one. You can see this one, we're going to be practicing textures, lips, various shading placements, eyebrows, eyes. It's all there for our taking for us to develop and learn from. Here we have facial textures, cheek textures there, shading placements. Here we have more skin textures as well to give us an idea of how we're going to go about applying these designs. Here is some eyes. We have teeth there, textures for hair. You kind of get the idea. So there's lots to learn and gain and benefit from the Facial Feature Guide Volume 1, along with my other tattooing workbooks as well. So you can see that is what comes within the Facial Feature Guide, and there's just loads of exercises here. This is gonna keep us busy for a good amount of time for sure. You can see there's just so many. Once again, you can go to Amazon and type in Daniel Yuck, the Facial Feature Guide, or just Daniel Yuck, and you should see this book pop right on up. Or you can click my affiliate links in the description below or in the pinned comment section to navigate to the product page. That right there is the Facial Feature Guide close-up. I want to get into a little bit about the practice part of tattooing and what we can utilize to get the most out of my tattooing workbooks. When it comes to practice, we can use a simple pencil to practice shading. We can use a simple ballpoint pen as well to practice. It doesn't matter what we choose to use. We can even take it a step further and use a tattoo machine with a ballpoint pen cartridge and practice with a tattoo machine to get used to the vibration, the weight, and movements of the machine, so that way we can practice on aligning our hand speed to our voltage. We can work on our needle depth, and we can get used to the overall feel of long vibrations in our hand for long periods of time. I would highly encourage you to use a tattoo machine along with ballpoint cartridges when practicing within my tattooing workbooks for optimal development and experience. It doesn't matter what cartridges or machine you use. I am personally going to be using Ink Claw's ballpoint cartridges. This is going to be an Ink Claw grip battery, and this is going to be the Ink Claw More Money tattoo machine. This is going to be the setup that I'm going to be using to practice. So just to confirm, we can use a pencil, we can use a pen, and we can definitely use a tattoo machine to practice. And yes, just to confirm, we can practice tattooing on paper. Although we're not using ointment and tattoo ink or pigment, we are using a ballpoint cartridge to practice tattooing on paper. Let's say if you're not familiar with shading or textures or anything, then I would encourage you to start off with a pencil, so that way you don't have to commit with ink just yet. Once you start getting a flow for how you want things to go with the pencil, then you could begin to commit to all the textures and everything you're applying with ink. That's a good way to go about it, because keep in mind, we can't erase pencils, we can't remove ink. We've taken a close-up look at the Facial Feature Guide Volume 1. We've also gone over some ways that we can go about optimizing our practice. From here, I want to switch on over to a different camera angle, so that way we could take a close-up look at some of the Facial Feature Guide exercises. Here is a design that I'm going to be demonstrating here. I'm going to take 2 sheets of just scratch loose leaf paper. I'm going to move the sheet and I'm going to place these 2 down right here. The reason is because if I press down a little too hard and either I break through the paper or create dents on this side of the paper, I don't want that to transfer over to this design right here. So therefore, these papers are going to accept any sort of bleed that I should cause, or if I cause it, instead of the design, keeping this design preserved so we can practice with it. I encourage you to do that as well. Just 2 sheets of paper. I'm going to place this back over, and then I'm going to go ahead and get to practicing. So right here is an Ink Claw ballpoint cartridge. I'm going to switch to a black cartridge for this demonstration. and I'm going to be running at 5 volts to get used to it. Again, the More Money Ink Claw tattoo machine with the Ink Claw charger, grip charger right here. I'm sorry, the wireless grip, and then this is the Ink Claw ballpoint cartridge. Now from here, I want to begin practicing applying eyebrows and eyes. I would typically start from the bottom on up, but since I am working on my technique and fundamentals, I'm going to go for what I want to practice. So for example, if I want to practice eyebrows, I'm going to go ahead and make my way over to the eyebrows and then begin applying these as best as I can here. Matching my hand speed to my voltage so that way I don't have too many sparsities within my work here. I want the pixels to sit nice and flush next to one another. And then here, the same thing. Although it's not identical, I'm trying to figure out practical ways that I can go about applying this eyebrow to get clean, consistent results. So you can see I'm just using a series of kind of like whip motions and very light pressure here, and just layers to accomplish a sort of eyebrow effect here. I'm not going for perfection, I'm just going for progression. I'm trying to learn as I go, and anything that I don't like, I can kind of see how I applied it and then change what I don't like about that from there. There we go. I'm just applying eyebrows as best as I can, and I'm improvising a little bit along the way. If I feel like there's open spaces a little bit too much for my liking, then I'll go ahead and add a little bit of hair textures in there. And I'm also able to build my own artistic choice making, which allows me to be more confident along the way. That's crucial. Confidence is everything, especially when it comes to tattooing. We have to be confident with each and every stroke we make, and these workbooks are a great way to help you develop confidence. Now, if you're not breaking through the paper either, then you're off to a really good start, because if we're breaking through the paper, then we have to worry about our approach and our technical application. We can definitely tattoo on paper without breaking through if our technique is correct. So far it's coming out nice. I'm loving the way that this eyebrow's coming out, and you can see the difference between the tones. So you can see the sort of faded stencil here versus the application. It's much darker. And that's the idea. You just want to kind of keep building until you reach a place that you're happy with when it comes to your design. Now you see how there's like open areas right here? I can go ahead and just add like strokes here to kind of fill this space out if I want, and that's just my own artistic preference. It's these choices that I start making over time that are going to allow me to be much more confident. Since this design did have more of an open eyebrow, I kind of want to stay true to that, but while still having a sort of full-filled look to the eyebrow. So that's what I'm trying to go for. I have a sense of purpose when I'm moving, and I know where I want to go with it, so I'm just going to do my best to apply that there. And then once I get the eyebrow applied the way that I want, I can go ahead and move on to the next part of my design, which would be this design. So you can see I'm gradually building up areas, and I'm not doing any sort of hard lining like this. What I'm doing is I'm using motions, whip motions like this to create various textures and to deposit the ink in very meticulous places. And this is pretty much going to apply when we begin tattooing on fake skin. Everything that we're learning on here we can take with us. So you can see I'm adjusting my posture, I'm adjusting my angle, and I'm also adjusting my stretch hand as well. Just using back and forth motions to fill in this area right here. Same thing over here. And these are the motions that you're going to want to remember and stick with when we move on over to fake skin and begin applying these to like human skin. You can see in this area, I'm not doing any sort of like hard lining. What I'm doing is I'm still using a streak-like motion to apply these areas right here. I'm not doing any sort of, nothing like that. We're just using simple streak motions to apply all of this and slowly, gradually build up this design. This right here is a great skill set to learn. If you're uncomfortable with building up designs like this, then this book is definitely going to help you. And let's say if you're at a stage right now where you're only building up designs by hard lines, then this book can help you get more comfortable with a workflow that can help you advance that aspect of your tattooing. So you can see just simple streaks, and then we're going to start tilting it like this, and then keep it going all the way across. There we go. And the same thing over here. Just going back and forth with a little bit of cross hatching. Now I'm going to keep on building around. And you can see there's like a little light detail right here. So I'm just going to faintly apply that. Great, great. And then I'm going to come this way and do the same thing. Trust the process, build up the design, and keep learning. See a little whip shade there. Very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and continue adding these down here. And there's even a little tint of shade here that we can add. So I'm going to come this way. Just going to add a little layer of shading this way, like so. You want to make sure that your hand speed and voltage is adequate so that way your pixels come out smooth. And if I want, I can hit that with one more layer, going in a cross-hatching direction. Make sure that the hand speed and voltage is correct. There we go. And the same thing over here. There we go. It's just a very slow, patient process. But I'm definitely learning quite a bit. Different ways to go about doing things, different motions and strokes that I can make to accomplish certain details. I'm also learning that nothing has to be hard lined either. I'll go ahead and finish this eye here, then we'll switch on over to a time lapse of some more demonstrations here. Allow me to conclude the video and relay some of my final opinions and some insight on how I feel about the Facial Feature Guide Volume 1, a guide to practice faces. Now, when it comes to practicing faces, this could be a skill set that's going to be crucial to our tattooing career. Therefore, we would want to practice faces. If we're going to be doing any sort of textures like hair textures, eyes, noses, lips, anything to do with a human face, I would highly encourage you to check out the Facial Feature Guide on your end. And again, my Amazon affiliate link will be for you in the description below or in the pinned comment section. This book is specifically designed to help cater and develop our abilities when it comes to applying faces, from eyebrows, hair textures, facial hair textures, noses, lips, ears, accessories, and more. If you're looking for something like this, then this may be the workbook for you. Through the Facial Feature Guide Volume 1, we are able to develop on multiple fronts before we ever get on over to fake skin, making us much more qualified to apply these sort of details and features correctly on fake skin. From there, we can, learn the abilities with needle and ink, and then we can move on to human skin. So you can see the Facial Feature Guide with a tattoo machine and paper is a great place to begin. If there's any places to make mistakes, it's going to be within these guides right here. So that way we can take our learnings and findings with us to practice that on fake skin. And then after that, we can move on to human skin, and you can see these practical stepping stones that we are taking to accomplish a long tattooing career. If you are wanting to build your skill sets and get comfortable with applying faces when it comes to tattooing, this is definitely going to be the workbook for you. The Facial Feature Guide is great for aligning our hand speed to our voltage. It's great to learn needle depth and get acquainted with needle depth. It's great to get comfortable with posture and comfortability with the gear that we are using. It's also great to learn how to make motions to apply these sort of textures, which could be really important to specific style of tattoos if we're going to be doing these within our tattooing work. So off the bat right there, those are some huge benefits that we have to gain when using the Facial Feature Guide Volume 1 or any one of my other tattooing workbooks. All in all, I'm going to highly encourage you to check out the Facial Feature Guide on your end. Should you have any questions at all, I also encourage you to drop a comment down below. Rest assured, I'm going to do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube channel. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, I appreciate your time and I thank you for watching. You have a great day. Are you needing or wanting tattoo guidance? What about 4K high quality step-by-step follow-along tattoo sessions? Or maybe one-on-one tattoo support to get answers to your questions that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist? You can now become a Patreon where you will gain access to high quality 4K exclusive step-by-step follow-along tattoo sessions. I will be tattooing with you in a one-on-one step-by-step manner where I will be explaining what I am doing and why every step of the way. I will also be doing this in a high quality 4K format for your optimal viewing experience. On top of the one-on-one support and on top of the step-by-step tattoo session guidance, you will also gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and place on your end to further develop your skill sets. I will leave a link for you in the description or in the pinned comment section below, or you can head on over to patreon.com/Daniel Yuck. When you become a Patreon, you will be getting one-on-one support where you can ask me as many questions as you'd like that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist. You will gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and practice on your end. You'll also gain access to exclusive high quality 4K footage where I walk you through each and every tattoo session in a one-on-one step-by-step manner where I explain all the what's and whys along the way. Become a Patreon today. Thank you for your support in advance. I greatly appreciate you.